Epic War 4. I thought the day would never come, but here I am. I did not expect to see giant boobies upon opening the screen. I thought Lasman wasn't into this kind of stuff, but he has surprised me time and time again. Apparently, Congregate has a card game or something. Laz, you literally gave me a download to play this game, and it has an ad. Why does your download have an ad? I want you to explain that to me. What else did you install onto my computer with this download? I'm actually scared now. Anyway, Epic War 4. It's probably been like 2 years since I started Epic War 1, a long time ago. If I'm not mistaken, I was still in San Diego when I was playing Epic War 1, and most of Epic War 2. I think I finished Epic War 2 in Japan, started it in San Diego. So, a series that has traveled across the world with me, and we are here to continue the saga. So, I want to talk a little bit about what I kind of hope to see from this game compared to the other three. And I think that in order to do that, the best way to do it is to just kind of talk about how I felt about the first three. I'm going to rank each of the first three games out of 10, 10 being the perfect Epic War experience, the way I envision the game. And of course, 0 being, this game is unplayable, unfun, and terrible. Obviously, none of them are going to be zeros because I thought every game was fun in its own way. I just think that some Epic War games did the formula a lot better than the others did. I'm talking about one game in particular, but let's talk about the first game, right? First game was, I want to say the first game was like 15 or 16 levels, and it was linear. You played as one group, and the only thing about the game, other than just playing through the levels, was you were able to upgrade and unlock stuff using money that you got from beating the levels. On top of this, you just kind of had an escalating system of every level was harder, and then more monsters started to get introduced. But all in all, Epic War 1 was a relatively easy game. I beat almost every level on the first try, with the exception of the last one. And ultimately, at the very end, there was a boss that was, conveniently called the End, that was ridiculously powerful. Now, I'm one for a hard boss battle. Hard boss battles are way more interesting and intense than easy boss battles. However, this game really proved to be the exception to the rule because this boss battle was terrible. I didn't like the boss battle for Epic War 1. The main reason was because the only reliable way to even contemplate winning was to use a feature that the game never told you about. You had to click outside the screen while shooting all of your arrows and holding down the 0 key, I think. I'm not sure what all of the steps were to do it. And it would make all of your arrows fire automatically. I didn't know about this. The game never said, hey, you can do this. I had to go read the comments off camera. I had to go read the comments to figure out, like, what am I supposed to do against this guy? I've been here for an hour, and there's nothing I can do against it. Just to find out, oh, you have to use this feature that was never explained to you. And, that soured my experience for Epic War. The ending of the game kind of soured my experience, which is something that all three of the games actually have in common. All three of the games disappointed me with how they ended, which is pretty surprising, all things considered, how they have not managed to end one of the Epic Wars right. The second game was the only one that had an ending that actually kind of felt good, even though the actual ending battle didn't make much sense compared to what we had learned so far. I don't know. I'll get to that, though. I'm not done with Epic War 1 yet. Epic War 1, all in all, a very linear experience. You played the game. Once you finished the game, there was no need to keep playing the game. It had zero replayability. There wasn't really anything fun you could do with it after you finished it. It was one of those things, it's like silly putty. You play with it for 5 minutes, and then you put it away, and it gets hair in it, and it gets kind of gross. And you're like, ew, I used to think that was fun, and now you don't play it anymore. Epic War 1 is definitely not a game, excuse me, it's definitely not a game I would play casually again. Just because I played it, I had my fun with it, and it's over now. And that's kind of the thing about Epic War 1, is that it's very basic, which makes sense. It's the first game. I mean, Bloons Tower Defense 1 was also pretty basic, and now look at where Bloons Tower Defense is at, right? Yeah. BTD 6 is one of the greatest, one of the greatest tower defense games ever made. It probably is the greatest tower defense game ever made. So, everything has a humble origin, and I guess Epic War is no exception. Which leads us into Epic War 2, which I found pleasantly surprising. The game featured many more levels. I believe Epic War 2 had 20 levels. Something like 20 levels. I don't actually remember. It had more levels than Epic War 1. And the levels followed a story, which I thought was really cool. I was really interested in Epic War 1 and a lot of the things that were happening in Epic War 1 that just weren't ever really explained because Epic War 1 didn't really have a very cohesive story to it. So Epic War 2 coming in with this really, really cool story that, I mean, some parts of it didn't make sense. And I gave it a lot of shit when I played it. And all in all, it actually ended up being a really enjoyable part of the experience. I liked how you could play through the levels and then you'd unlock these other races, these other teams and factions that you could play as. And these other teams and factions had their own unique units. It was a game. It was basically like 3 times. That alone made it 3 times better than Epic War 1, in the sense that you really could just play with these units. Unfortunately, the grind aspect of Epic War 2 was kind of a bummer. You had to play through all of the levels you already played through to level up the new team that you got, and you had to do this twice because there's 3 total teams. So 3 times actually, just counting the first time you play through. Which you know, it makes it seem like these other factions are less of like pivotal parts of the game and more like extra features. It would have been cool, and I know this is a lot to ask for, but if every faction had had their own like small campaign that you could go through with levels, you could only play with that faction. I know that's a lot to ask for because these are indie games. And these aren't made by like massive companies or anything that have that kind of budget to be making a game that big. So, you know, all in all, Epic War 2, despite the fact that you had a lot more diversity in the way you played it, was also very linear, unfortunately. Linear is a general problem that all 3 of the previous games have had. Epic War 2 was the most fun in terms of strategy, I feel. I think that Epic War 2 strategy was amazing. It went down to a point where, like, the attack speed of units, and even if the attack speed's like a fraction of a second faster, and I was taking that into consideration, like, the Elven Protectors were able to attack the human knights before the human knights could land a hit, and the Elven Protectors did crazy cleave and freaking I think they did like stun damage or something. So like, you know, like that made that really valuable. Like, okay, now I can use all these Elven Protectors and I know for a fact they're gonna get a hit off before the knight does, even if the knight is like twice as powerful. So, you know, that was something to take into consideration. And then, you know, other really small things like the Elven Archers. They're not archers, they were like they were like wizards, but they were elves, and they could freeze. They had like frost arrows, and they could freeze the giant fire titan. I will call him this one more time, and then I will not say his name ever again. But fuzzy fucker. They could freeze him. Nothing else could even come close to doing that. That was something unique to the elves. Little things like that made the game so much more enjoyable because it actually kind of felt unique playing these factions in these certain environments. Now, there was also the thing that really killed Epic War 2 for me was once you got towards the end and you started unlocking these Titan units. I liked the diversity of units in Epic War 2. I liked how they were all balanced with each other, with the exception of a certain totem unit from the orcs. But other than that, every unit was pretty strong in their own way, and every faction had their own uniqueness. And then, you know, they introduced Titan units, which is units that you could use with any faction, and they cost a lot of mana, but once you had one out in the field, they were pretty much unstoppable. I thought the Titans were cool at first, but then I started to realize that the game's not so much fun now. It's so much less about me getting troops out and making a good composition, and it turned into more of a, how long can I survive until I build up enough mana to get a Titan, you know? Which was disappointing in a lot of ways, because that took the strategy out of the game, that took the fun out of it for me. And I think the game made up for it in a way by putting bosses in at the end. There was 3 bosses. One of them was a giant frog. One of them was the end tower from Epic War 1, which was not as broken as it was. And then the third one was this like final boss, the Lord of Hell, I think is what his name was. I thought the boss battles were freaking cool. I thought that the frog and the frog was too easy. I think the frog could have been harder. The tower, the end, this time it didn't feel stupid. I think it took me 2 tries to beat it. So that was like the pinnacle of like, I think that was the best level in the game because that was the only time I genuinely felt good using Titans. And it also just didn't feel like it didn't feel bad. But as I said earlier, this game's ending was extremely disappointing. I did not like the final battle between the Lord of Hell because one, he's buggy as hell. You could exploit the crap out of him. And two, his entire, like the entirety of fighting against him is completely different to what the game had been leading up to. I mean, it really seemed like the Lord of Hell was going to be this really powerful, slow unit that walked towards you. And it was going to be kind of like the end, but it was going to be way harder. But no, he ended up being stationary and you had to go up to him and hit him, which just didn't make any sense. Didn't make any sense at all. I really would have been interesting to see like a new mechanic or something like he can take control of your troops, or like if your troops die, they'll be reincarnated from hell and they'll go and they'll attack you or something, like something crazy, something that was that's probably too much to ask for, but all in all would have been an amazing experience nonetheless. However, the final boss battle was pretty lame. The catch was that every time he hit the ground, he did damage to your castle from all the way across the map. Doesn't make much sense, I know, but he did it. So you basically had, I think it was like 20 hits before you died. So ultimately, it was just like a race against time. It wasn't even a race against the final boss. It was a race against time. The final boss was time, not the Lord of Hell. And I think that's probably the main reason why I just didn't like it, because he wasn't even the final boss. It was time that was the final boss. Okay. And then Epic War 3. Let's talk about Epic War 3, right? Epic War 3 started out really good. And I thought, wow, this is really unique. You get all of these different factions, and you get to unlock these special troops that only each faction can have you unlock. And some of these troops are really good. Some of them were not really good, and I'll get back to that. But Epic War 3, for the first time playing through and beating all the levels, was probably my most fun I had with it. I liked the pacing. The art style shift was a bit jarring at first, but then after a little while, I kind of eased into it, and I thought it was better. I'm assuming, well, I say I'm assuming, I saw Lasmalin playing this on stream one time, and the art style was similar to Epic War 3, so that's fine. But but the things that like instantly turned me off from Epic War 3 was like, I think that there was no story. The Epic War 2's story was weird, but it had a story, and the story was actually decent. It was investing. But Epic War 3 had no story. It was just, oh, you're a character and you are trying to conquer this land. And I think Epic War 3 had maybe 15 levels total. It didn't have very many. And plus the Cave of Trials, it didn't have very many more levels than the first game did. Like, it had maybe 4 or 5 more levels than the first game did. Like, that's 2 games. That's like 2 generations of Epic War. And there's still only a few more levels than the first game. Like, that's ridiculous to me. And like, after I beat the game the first time, I realized, wow, this is really, like, repetitive. Even when I'm playing as the other heroes, the only difference is where you start on the map. And that doesn't even matter because... it doesn't matter because like there's no difference between fighting any of the other characters. They're gonna either attack you and you'll defend, or they're gonna attack someone else. There's never like any variety to it. So even though you're starting off on different places on the map, you still feel like you're playing the same game, which you are. And then Epic War 3's semi-saving grace was the Cave of Trials. I thought, hey, this is gonna be good. And it was good. I think that the first 4 caves of the 5 were really strong. And they really pushed you to the limit, and they were some of the most fun I ever had recording Epic War. And then the grand finale, I spent hours grinding so that I could max everything out for this grand finale, and it ended up being a big joke the entire time. Completely killed it for me. I think that Epic War 3, and I'll get back to that. Another thing with Epic War 3, the balancing of the troops it was terrible. It was abysmal. I have no idea who was in charge of balancing them, but it was terrible. You had, just think about it, you had a troop like the magic cannon, and then you had a troop like the lightning crystal. And those 2 troops were extremely similar in cost. I want that to sit with you for a while, and I want you to think about that. the fact that I think the magic cannon was like 1 or 150 more mana than the lightning crystal. And it's like if you've watched the Epic War 3 series, you'll know how good that difference is. Like that's ridiculous. And that also kind of turned me away because there were some troops like the crystals. I really wanted to use the crystals. I thought maybe I can figure out some tactical way to do it. You know, Epic War 2 was really good with the tactics and figuring out how to use the troops. And I was like, okay, but there's no focus on Titans, so I'm really good here. No, it doesn't matter how you used some of these characters, they were just no good. No good whatsoever. I'm looking forward to possibly going back to Epic War 3 and playing a few challenge modes. That would be really interesting because the game is designed such that you can play with really shitty units and give yourself a harder challenge. So that would be really fun to go back and make some videos on that. However, I think Epic War 3, as crazy as it is my least favorite of the three. So I said at the beginning of this, I'd give every single game a rating out of 10, from being really bad to 10 being its fullest potential. Epic War 1 was a solid 5 because it was really it really set the tone for Epic War. It was very linear. There was no issues with it, but it was also just a very simple game. It had a lot of room that you could improve on. Epic War 2 really tried its best to improve upon that with these different factions you could play as and a few more levels and extra bosses. And I think Epic War 2 was honestly like a 7 out of 10. Like Epic War 2 was so good. The thing holding Epic War 2 back was that the other factions didn't have their own unique levels that they could play. That's the thing that held Epic War 2 back. That you didn't have like these customized campaigns. That would have made the game like a 10 out of 10 in my books. And also if that final boss made sense. And Epic War 3, I think Epic War 3 was such a downgrade. Such a downgrade. They had so much to work with from Epic War 2, and they took away so many of the things that made that game good. They took the balancing away, they took the strategy away, and they turned it into this extremely repetitive, grinding of all of these characters in the exact same battlefield over and over again. To get these characters, some of these characters aren't even good, some of them are terrible. I think Epic War 3 is like maybe a 3 or 4 out of 10. I did not like Epic War 3 as a whole. And especially with, Cave 5 being a big joke like that. Like that annoyed me. Genuinely annoyed me. And I don't get genuinely annoyed by video games very often. But like I literally wasted time getting to that end point just to be disappointed like that. I was not okay with that. Already considering how the game was basically boring up until the Cave of Trials, and then to have the Cave of Trials end on such a low note, like there was really I did not like Epic War 3. So, that being said, what do I expect from Epic War 4? Well, first of all, I hope that Epic War 4 is like the second game. I hope that you have different factions you can play as. I hope that they don't go too crazy with factions. I know Epic War 3, instead of factions, quote unquote, you had playable characters that had their own units with them, which I think is also fine, but I liked the faction system a lot more because you can really do a lot to give them variety and give them like identities almost, which Epic War 2 did a good job at. I think that the thing that's going to make or break this game is if it has a story. It better have a story. I'm going to cry if it does not have a story. And the third thing is, I've already been told it's kind of grindy at points. This game is, which is fine. I understand that. At the point of every type of game where there's like a leveling system is that you have to grind out to level up. Oh, crap. But I hope the grinding isn't too tedious. I hope that it's fun in how it's grindy. And I think there's a good and a bad way to grind. And like as long as it's not too repetitive, I think is what I'm really hoping for. And the final thing that I'm really hoping for with this is that 1, I hope it's more than 20 levels. And 2, I hope the troops are balanced. Oh my god, I hope that there's balance in this game. I hope that there's strategy. I hope that there's tactics. I am so looking forward to going crazy and just flexing my strategy off. And like, nothing makes me happier than when Lasmalin watches these videos and he's like, wow, I had no idea the protectors were that powerful. Like, you know how good that makes me feel? Like, I know Lasmalin's been playing this game his whole life, and I was able to discover something that he had never realized. Like, wow. Like that feels good. Epic War 2 did that. That's why I liked Epic War 2 so much. Epic War 3, not so much. Epic War 4, hopefully. Hopefully. I really hope that this game gives me the opportunity to really do my own thing and figure out how I want to play. That was a lot of talking. That was... Oh, oops, that was 20 minutes worth of fucking exposition. I'm not even into the first episode yet. So, I'm gonna record this a little bit differently. I'm not gonna go so heavy on the editing. I am gonna cut out the slow parts. But no funny edits or anything. As much as I like doing that, they are a lot time consuming, and a lot time is time. A lot that I do not have time is not that I do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make these each 30-minute videos. I'm probably gonna sit down and record this for at least 2 hours. I'm gonna make 30-minute videos. This one's already 20 minutes in, so I'm probably just gonna play the first level and call this episode quits, and then we'll move on to the second episode, which will have a lot more 30-minute episodes. I don't think I can finish the game in one sitting, but I'm gonna try to get at least 2 hours in, so I have 4 videos, and then in the future I'll sit down again and I'll try to record another 2 hours. Obviously I'm probably gonna start cutting out a lot of filler, but we'll see what happens, right? So without further ado, I think we should really get into it. And yep, here we go. I hope the sound is fine. Congregate. Ant. How loud are you gonna be? Spare me. Ooh. I'm going to just turn this down a little bit. There, okay. Look, you can see the first 3 games down here, and then there's a cannon. Oh, this is cool. Where's the settings at? Okay. Epic War 4, The Alliance of Heroes. I'm already interested in this title. This title has a lot to be desired, and it reminds me a lot of the second game, which was, what was the second game called? Epic War 2. Oh, something of Destiny or something like that. Oh, this is giving me Epic War 2 vibe. Hey, that's the dude from the third game. That's Sir No-Neck. Oh, don't tell me this game's gonna have a good story. I'm so hyped right now. What? For eons, war has been shaping the continents. I'm smiling so much right now. As conflict spread, songs and tales of conquest, struggles, and heroics all spilled across the world, circulating among the people as they fought to live their daily lives. This is the same music from Epic War 3, by the way. I actually recognize it. I'm so happy right now. There's lore. In the world of Epic War, war is... War is life. However, formidable enemy threatens to end this age once and for all. Nations cower as the onslaught brought about by the impenetrable Iron Horse. Cities seal their gates. Heroes are left stranded or imprisoned. The impenetrable Iron Horse, you say? Tributes are paid, people starve, demoralization runs rampant. Demoralization, that's the biggest issue, right? Runs rampant and kingdoms are left to ruin. A world without heroes is a dead world. However, one hero refuses to back down. I'm so excited. Those who still have true courage within them, Vigraf the Red declares, must refuse to fall on their knees in the face of oppression. True heroes must learn to shed their cowardice and fight. You've got to be kidding me right now. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. I'm so excited right now. Lead your army of heroes across the continent and bring the world of Epic War back to life. This makes me want to go back to the second game and reread Vigraf's story. I recognized him. He's Sir No-Neck. He's the dude that gives you the Dragon Riders and the Succubus. The 2 most powerful fucking units in the game. I think he's a developer favorite, I don't know. Oh, what the fuck? This looks amazing. XVI, that's 16. Don't tell me that there's only 16 levels. I'm gonna be sad if there's only 16 levels. Welcome to Epic War 4 World. Before going into battle, make sure to properly arrange both your hero and your army. After each battle, you will receive gold that you can spend on the upgrade page. On the upgrade page, you can strengthen your armies and unlock new spells and heroes. Click to continue. help, options, credits, and walkthrough. Okay, options. I'm gonna just crank this down a little bit. Okay, show the health bar and show blood and gore. Of course I'm gonna show blood and gore. What do you think I am? Okay, where's level 1 at? Walkthrough credits. I don't need to walk through, I know what I'm doing. Oh, here I am. 1. Arrange. Alright, to equip, click on the equipment you want to equip, and then click on the hero or unit you want to equip. I can equip stuff? You're kidding me, right? For spells, click on the spell icon, then place this... Ooh, excuse me, then place the spell you want to equip on the spell equipment slot on the left. Oh man, Laz, I am so fucking impressed right now. What? Oh. Yes. I want you, and you can be there. I'm very confused about all of this, but oh my god, this looks fucking cool. Oh, you can put this game looks so good. I don't know how I'm gonna format it for a YouTube video. The screen is very small, and it looks like it's gonna pixelate very quickly, so if I end up having to have like a black border around the screen, I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna try my best to avoid that. This is just the resolution that the game was given to me in, so all I have is goblins. Let's take it. Level 1, warming up. Please be lower in between levels. What is this? X. Oh, that's just a back X. Ooh, okay. Okay. I'm gonna need to crank you down just a little bit more. There. Hope that's not too quiet. Click a unit's icon, then click on the battlefield or on the minimap to order units of that type to move to that spot. You can deselect your units by clicking their icons a second time. You can select multiple groups of units by clicking on each group one by one. You can order all of your units to advance by pressing the assault button, or you can order them to fall back by pressing the fallback button. You can select certain groups to advance by selecting them individually and pressing the march button. You can have those units retreat via the retreat button. You can have up to 3 hero units in each battle. Are you kidding me? I can have 3 heroes? This is PogChamp right now, boys. Let's do this. Each hero can have 2 units under control. If a hero is killed, he will respawn. Be careful though, each time a hero is killed, his spawn time will increase. So I can have a total of 6 units and 3 heroes. If one of your heroes is killed, you cannot select or create units led by that hero until he respawns. So you're trying to tell me that the hero is actually valuable? Are you kidding me? I have no words. Whenever units are idle and not currently in combat, they will regenerate health. Use this to your advantage, especially with your hero. Here he comes, 30%, 40%. Wait, why is the game like out here now? What? Oh, this is so bizarre. Okay. This is fine, I think. Okay. You're just gonna have to get used to the fact that there's a gray bar. Oh, that's what you meant by you're gonna see things you're not supposed to see. Okay. Assault. Yes. These are the same goblin sprites. So I can command him. Right? And then I can command his goblins, but I can't command his goblins if he dies. There has to be a way that I can manually forward them, right? Alright, back up. Back up. Yeah, okay, maybe not. I'm just gonna pretend that there's no outside border there. But, yeah, this is cool. I like the background, I really like the music. I feel like the edge of the screen should be here. But, like, yeah, no. Okay, we're just gonna kill this castle. The castle's health is here. What is this? What is this? Oh, this is my mana, okay. What do I need the mana for? What am I using mana for? I can throw in the flag as well. If the troops spawn on their own, what do I need mana for? Interesting. This is a weird castle, by the way. It's like floating on an island of sharp-ass rocks. This is weird as hell. It's gonna be fun trying to like format this to fit in the video screen. Destroyed. Destroyed. That's right. Easy. Okay. Gold bonus total. Okay. So I got 1500 bonus. What the hell? How do you only give me 135 gold and then 1500 bonus? I still don't have more troops, so let's upgrade. What is this? A skill, Comet Shot. Unlock level 1, 1000 gold. Don't count me in. Oh, this looks cool as hell. Okay. Mad Bull. And Simon the Magician. I mean, you know I gotta buy another hero. Some other day. So this is a hero that'll be connected to Vigriff. I need 2500 gold to buy it. I'm so mad. So these are all of Vigriff's heroes. But then there's a blue one, and then there's 4 heroes, and you can have 3 total. Okay, that's how this game's gonna be. I really like this. I get a comment. You get Popo the Epic Dwarf, Vigriff the Red, Simon the Magician. There's only 3 though. Where's the 4th one at? Who's the green one? Where does this end? It should be this guy. Huh. The green one has more upgrades than anyone else, but yet I can't see him. Fascinating. Range, no arrangement to be done. Save. I'm gonna figure out where that game is being saved to whenever this is over, which we are currently 31 minutes in. Achievements, read, help, see the ending, halt at the Big Bang. Here's 6 stages, stop the Horde of Goblin, slay the Golden Angel, Grand Fest, completed all upgrades, trick Tyrant Lord Bale, Master of War, beat all levels on hard mode, Epic Hero, beat all levels on epic mode. Whew, there's a hard and an epic mode. You're speaking a language I understand. Well, alright, I'm gonna cut the recording here. Alright, I'm gonna cut the recording here. I'm gonna keep recording, but this is the end of episode 1. Thank you all so much for watching. This is hype as hell. I am super hype right now. I want to see where this goes. But I'm gonna see all of you in the next episode. I'm actually really looking forward to continuing this. Goodbye, everybody.